What on earth am I doing? I'm drawing a blank on stuff to make videos about.
Why is Monolith stuttering? That's gotta be a Google Chrome thing.
This thing I was going to use as a green screen at some
Could still use it as a green screen at some point. It's the right color.
point. Cord clips, yippee skippy!
Those things are pretty cool. I probably should make a video at those at some point.
Yay. Bike lube, woohoo! For messing with the fat bike.
How to enjoy a MultimediaJay video. Step 1. Remove head from gutter.
Fooling around with the gear ratios and things like that.
The bike does not have gear ratios. It has basically the thing for shifting the gears. Oh, I definitely was out of it with the head cold when I recorded this thing.
Radio Shack solder.
Ooh, Radio Shack. Ooh, solder. Whatever.
Rosin core, of course.
Because I'm not an idiot who uses acid core plumbing solder on electronics projects.
Cordless soldering irons.
I only see one. Man, I was so out of it. And look at how he knocked over the bike lube.
And I grew up with the little pencil iron things.
Yeah, it's 25 watts. Oh, what's this? A shaver?
Does this thing still have a charge? No, of course.
I still don't know why this thing is stuttering. It's not even on HD mode. Maybe I should switch back to Firefox.
The battery was rubbish in that thing. I'm going to take it apart and use it for parts and see how it works. Box cutter, safety knife too, sort of.
Actually, I bought one of those for myself after really liking them at that night shift warehouse job I used to have. Basically a souvenir from that rather dark time in my life.
What on earth do I have on this desk these days?
Clutter, because it's not 5S.
Oh, look. One of the fans from Tuxedo?
Yeah, assuming the fan came from Tuxedo just because of the color scheme. Whatever.
Fractal anyways, and it's one of the ones with the anti-turbulence fins.
Fins? You mean those little dings in them? Fans have fins? What the? Yeah, that head cold was really messing with me that day.
Harbor Freight Tools has come to this neck of the woods, and I kind of did a little shopping. Yeah, ratchet set. Woohoo!
Ratchet screwdriver set. Or ratchet driver. Whatever. It's not like a ratchet set or anything.
Woo! Replace all those screwdrivers that are sitting around. I can never find the right one or whatever.
Yes, these combo sets didn't exist when I first put a toolbox together back as an electronics student in high school. It's kind of cool if you don't lose the parts.
There's tools nowadays that weren't around back in my electronics days back in high school.
This thing is still stuttering. It's supposed to be a powerful system. Why is Chrome bringing it to its knees? Bloated bloated browser piece of whatever.
Hex star key set for SAE metric and star drivers.
Also known as Allen wrenches. Again, so you don't have to worry about losing one or two. You know what? Why don't we get to what this video is actually supposed to be about?
The wacky world of MultimediaJay.
It's Thanksgiving 2017, and in the true Semper Reformanda always be reforming tradition, I have parted ways with old traditions of Thanksgiving and whatnot, but it's not all me. I mean, the family's kind of on board with me on this one. We stopped going to Wright's Farm because the service had been in the skids for the last couple of years, and so here I am. Basically, yeah, I gotta lose some weight, so I'm not really gonna go nuts with food for Thanksgiving, but I think I might try a turkey grinder if there's a Subway open or something like that. Just as a little nod to the holiday. Not like I've ever been too big of a fan of Thanksgiving, at least the eating part of it. I always preferred Christmas when I was a kid. But I'm breaking some rules tonight. I have long been an enemy of Black Friday, the holiday humbug season, and Christmas commercialism in general. But just for the heck of it, and because I have a $20 gift card that I gotta find something to spend on from the 9 to 5, I want to go see everybody go nuts at Walmart, just to say that I did that at least once. What I'd like to do, might go out tomorrow too, to see if I can snag a cheap monitor, because it's time to finally say goodbye in true Semper Reformanda fashion to CRT technology, once and for all. Arrived. As you can see, trees. I'm parked way off around the building where the employees usually park. Nobody ever wants to park over here. What I'm going to do is, if I get one of those folks that stalks me at 5 miles an hour to get my parking spot, first I'm going to go out the wrong door, and I'm going to take the most roundabout route that I can back to the car and see how many people I can get really mad. Nah, just kidding. Don't want to give anybody any ideas now. And just like that, it's Friday morning, Black Friday, the official kickoff of holiday humbug season. Walmart was pretty interesting because they have TVs, not monitors. They're not enough of a specialty retailer to actually sell computer monitors, so as you can guess, Staples! We don't have enough foot traffic out here in the woods for a Best Buy, so Staples kind of fills the gap and then sells ink the rest of the year. All that really, or something like that. I don't know how that store even runs, but, you know, it's there, and there's electronics. There's also hard drives, too. There's retail kits for Seagate drives. So if I ever have a drive seize up and I can't wait for a replacement to come in through the e-tailing channels as usual, then just run to the store and then, yeah. Picked up some Black Friday specials while I was there. Now, this Samsung monitor is not a doorbuster. I do not buy Black Friday displays. It's a normal SKU that's marked down for Black Friday in advance of the higher sale volume, which is usually the way these things work. I also picked up a P-Touch because I've been talking about 5S stuff, and I've been trying it at work, and I think I want to try some of it at home. So part of that means pick up a nice little label maker. This was a Black Friday special, $10, and then Alexa! Second generation Echo Dot, hockey pucks, and then I've got a Google Home Mini on order. So eventually I will have all of the talking computers. So anyways, let's dig into this stuff, shall we? Christmas is more fun when you're a grown-up. And of course we have Cyber Monday next week. So, at the 9 to 5, I will be volunteering for some overtime helping the folks on the warehouse floor to cover all of this. Let's check out the toys! This is where the souvenir from my more warehousey days will come in handy, because I know that these little S-knives all come with film cutters. And of course, don't tell the boss, I'm not wearing the glove on the other hand, but hey, I'm at home. No need to worry about OSHA here. And look, I'm working the tool away from myself. You're not supposed to cut towards yourself. Those of you who want to give warehousing a try. Yeah, this is, I actually have 100 blades for this, and I'm nowhere near using them up. But this is the fat S5 knife that I used to use at the night shift restocking job. So there's a skinnier S4 one, but I like the one for the people with big hands like me. So just whoosh, night after night after night. Good exercise anyways. My doctor certainly liked the numbers I had back in those days. A little on the boring side for someone like me, but it's money. Okay, let's, I don't really do unboxing videos per se, so let's get all this stuff out of the box and see how it all goes together. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Brand new panel, baby. Nice little setup, matte finish, so it's not shiny, so it won't double as a mirror when you're looking at a dark scene. In some ways, this is better than the TV. Of course, it's also newer too, and I'll bet any money it's more power efficient. Comes with a D-sub cable, but not an HDMI, even though it has a D-sub and an HDMI on the back. Boo! That's how you know this is being sold to lowest common denominator businesses. Businesses love their D-sub. You'd think DVI was never invented with some of the ways I've seen people hold on to these horrible blue cables. And then they have to auto-adjust their screen and they don't know where that is, and they're like, oh my goodness, my monitor's fuzzy. Is it about to break? No, push the auto button. Oh, where is it? Oh, it's buried in the menus. Hold on a second. Tech support. Yeah, business folks, if you can do DVI or HDMI, do it. Don't make your folks put up with D-sub, even though the cable is free. We also have an external power block, which I gotta be careful with. I might use some double-sided tape because I do not want that power block pulling on its power connector coming out the back of the monitor and destroying the DC jack. That'll be an issue. The other monitor I had, of course, took AC directly. Also, round cable, no standard AC thing for this thing, so yeah, I'm gonna have to pull that cable out as well. So no standard 3-prong, but why would something like this need to be grounded anyways? Also, let's do the honors. This, folks, is shipping plastic. For those of you that are not familiar with electronics, you take this off when you get it. Its sole purpose is to keep the thing from getting scratched in transit. Once it's arrived, you can take it off. You know how many people I've seen that just still have the shipping plastic on there like, why did my monitor come taped up? Who taped up my monitor? It looks stupid and dust is getting under the tape. That's not tape, that's plastic. So many folks I see, they pick up electronic things and they think this actually serves a purpose. It does, but by the time something gets to you, it's served its purpose. Look at that, the camera can't even focus because how nice this thing is. Nice and shiny. It also makes it a bit of a fingerprint magnet, but there. Done. Back of the panel has this, well, whatever you want to call that. I think the HR lady at the 9 to 5 has a model similar to this, but there you go. There's our problem right there. The DC comes out, and if this thing hangs halfway to the floor, it pulls down until the jack breaks. And I think that jack is proprietary, so it'd be quite a soldering job in order to replace it. Otherwise, an HDMI and an RGB. So, as in RGB meaning D-sub and stuff like that, I might have to use an adapter to use the DVI and some other stuff. I don't just keep an HDMI cable over here. This is a step forward. I mean, most graphics cards have HDMI out, and of course, a lot of corporate machines have DisplayPort, so you can get a little dongle for DisplayPort to HDMI and use the HDMI thing. A very worthy investment, by the way, for folks who work in offices that don't want to keep having to hit auto every so often because they're using an old, outdated analog D-sub port that should not still be used anywhere in the year 2017. Anyways, so now that people are getting camera sick, what do we have for specifications here? 14 volts, 1.78 amps, apply a little bit of Ohm's law here, as well as some talking computers. Hey Cortana, what's 14 times 1.78?
14 times 1.78 is 24.92.
Max, roughly about 25 watts grand total. A quarter of the power draw of the TV. The sad part is, that TV is so out of date these days that a full-size TV would probably only be like 50 watts, maybe. But the TV still works, so, yeah, real tooth grinder here. Should I get rid of that old, outdated TV or what? Right. Tube monitor, you've had a good run. You didn't blow up on me, and for over 10 years, you just plain worked. And you took up too much space, and you guzzled too much power, and you cost $100 back in the day, much like your successor. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Whatever. There's what I'm talking about. The project area is actually going to have room for some actual projects. Go get 'em, Tuxedo. These are actually touch-sensitive buttons, so I just had to tap the power thing to get this to turn on. Still don't have any internet over here, though. Let me go get that wireless dongle. This wireless dongle actually belongs in the Delosaurus, but I think Tuxedo can borrow it for now. Better than draping a spaghetti cable across half the house. April and May, last updated, and this is what the screen looks like when we film it. No roller vision or flicker vision, way better than its predecessor. Actually better than the TV. A nice sharp picture that you may not be able to see it and whatnot, but yeah, just upgrading everything with about 6 months worth of updates, and it looks pretty nice. Fun stuff. Oh, there comes the wallpaper. There will be more. There we go. Looks a bit cleaner too. I know there's probably going to be at least one major Windows version update, so this is going to be downloading for a while. I am going to keep the D-sub cable along with the tools that I use for the project area because I have zero use for D-sub cables anymore, and this one is garbage. I have a shielded monoprice one I could use for an actual serious connection. This will just be for temporary hookups. Speaking of which, check out that Pearl, quote-unquote, check out that Pearl, quote-unquote, colored HDMI cable back there. That's a garbage HDMI cable that I'm not going to use for anything else either. So, yeah, I don't want any more spaghetti than absolutely necessary, so I'll keep this nice and wrapped up until I actually need it, if that ever happens. Okay, here we roll. Let this do its downloading and get the newest version of Windows 10. This monitor also has game mode as well, which basically brings it down to minimal image processing in order to keep the screen updating as quickly as possible. Nice thing to have if you're playing games like Overwatch or something. I don't know if my RPGs necessitate the need for game mode, but while this is downloading, let's bust out the kilowatt. 0 standby power draw. Let's hit the tap button here. 0.3, 0.9, 10 watts, 19 watts, We know it's 20 watts max, so, and it looks like my 3 key got stuck. So I'm downloading this thing here. 19.4 watts. Now let's turn the game mode on this thing. Turn on the game mode on this thing. There. So now it's a little bit simpler display. Now it's down to 11 watts. 11 watt display when it's not doing any extra image processing. I don't know. Maybe I should get a TV version of this. What would I do with the old one, though? Sell it on Craigslist? Who's gonna buy a nearly 10-year-old TV that is nowhere near power efficient compared to its successors? Checking out the Alexa hockey puck while that stuff's downloading. This is cool. Runs off a USB, so I could plug this into the service port on the television and then hide it behind the TV or something. Does have a thing for going into the wall, of course. Yeah, US. I think most Alexa videos I've seen have been by folks over in the UK. Let's see, how do we set this thing up? Light show. And only 2 watts so far.
Hello. Your Amazon Echo Dot is ready for setup. Just follow the instructions in your Alexa app.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get the tablet for this, aren't I? Sweet! Alexa! Nah, I'm not gonna do anything yet. Well, this is awkward. The Alexa app is not compatible with the tablet. You need a wireless computer in order to set one of these things up. I don't want to unplug this wireless dongle because I'm in the middle of a giant Windows 10 download, and Monolith isn't a wireless computer. Turdshiba to the rescue! Finally got the thing working. Basically, I had to use a wireless device because you have to use an ad hoc network to connect up. Which gets me wondering, are there folks with Wi-Fi pineapples that might mess with people's echoes while they're being set up? Oh, that must be fun, though. You know, all those people that just randomly grab these things, or, excuse me, Google Home Mini yesterday, off of the Walmart shelves, and they're like, how do we set this up? And then they're on the phone or something like that, or I don't know. Maybe the younger generation that grew up with smartphones is more Wi-Fi savvy, but some of those folks lumbering through Walmart last night, I'm not so sure that they're exactly techie, but I don't know. Maybe I'm making some bad assumptions. Regardless, time to welcome this little hockey puck to the family. Alexa, welcome!
Thanks. It's good to be here.
Alexa, welcome to Jay's Geek House. Okay. Alexa, hello.
Hi there.
Okay, now for a little something I saw yesterday. Windows 10's still downloading, by the way. Alexa, what does RTFM mean?
RTFM is a rude way to indicate someone should read the manual.
It's been updated. Someone changed the code. Alexa, what does WTF mean?
I'd rather not answer that.
There must be a setting somewhere, as I heard Alexa bleeping out swears and stuff before. Alexa, how do I make you swear?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Alexa, what do you think of Google Now?
I don't have an opinion on that.
Alexa, what do you think of Siri?
I'm partial to all AIs.
Alexa, what do you think of Cortana?
All AIs are pretty cool, but Cortana and I work well together.
Hey Cortana, what do you think of Alexa? Oh, yeah, it would help if I turned the sound system back on.
Epic fail.
Alexa, play some classical music.
Playing your classical music.
Alexa, stop. That's the piano, guys. But it did get up to like 2 or 3 watts. Well, let's get it talking instead of risking copyright nonsense. Alexa, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
A woodchuck would chuck about 700 pounds of wood on a good day with the wind at his back.
Alexa, make me a sandwich.
Okay, you're a sandwich.
Kind of similar to Google with the response there. Poof, you're a sandwich. What? Make it yourself. Yeah. Is this Windows 10 update ever going to finish? Let's have some fun with the hockey puck. Alexa, you look like a hockey puck.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Yeah. Right. Man, this Windows update is still downloading. Maybe I shouldn't have done this over wireless. Tuxedo can handle it. Let's go install Alexa in a more permanent home. Well, this is interesting. You'll see the wires coming out of the side of the TV. I currently have the Amazon hockey puck plugged into the service port on the television. Alexa, how are you?
I'm great. I've been thinking about what makes people happy. For me, it's the little things, like electrons, or sea monkeys, or the 5 trillionth digit of pi.
Alexa. Hello? Alexa. There's the catch with using the service port. It only works when the TV's turned on. There we go, tucked away under the TV. Can always push it back if necessary, and the Google thing is going to go there too when that comes in. Nice way to hide the digital assistants, but I can still voice activate them whenever I want. Alexa, how are you?
You caught me in a daydream. I was in an old western, sitting on the bar of a saloon, singing songs and telling jokes. When folks walked in, I'd shout, "Howdy!" and they'd look at me and say, "What the heck is that contraption?"
Fun stuff. Now, I do believe this video is supposed to be about the new display, so when the heck is that Windows 10 update gonna finish? Finally! Tuxedo finally finished upgrading everything. Took long enough, to the tune of a couple hours. Shouldn't have had that massive update come down over wireless. Regardless, though, this video has gone on long enough, and I've waited long enough, and this thing can't run anything as far as games go just yet. We're gonna have to manually override this to test out how good this monitor is for playing games. Time to get the Delosaurus. Hold on a second, before we fire everything up, this all looks like it all goes together quite well. Except for the yellowing speakers on those old Logitechs. And of course the kilowatt is the completely wrong color, but wow, yeah. Well then again, office computer, pretty much an office monitor, but it is still a Samsung. I'm gonna try playing some ESO on this and see how I like it. Well, this is interesting. I may have to read the manual for this thing. Game mode is supposed to bypass all the image processing in order to increase the speed at which it draws the image on the screen. That way if you're playing really fast-paced games like shooters and stuff, you don't get killed due to input lag because someone sees you before you see them, simply because of how your monitor works. However, when I do turn on the game mode on this thing, all it really does is just makes everything kind of choppy and no way to soften the picture or anything of that sort. I guess maybe I'll have to get used to playing in a mode like this if I want optimum response in various fast-paced games. But other than that, there's also a little bit of bleed through on the bottom. If we turn the screen all black, you'd see the backlight bleeding through on the bottom of the panel. You see some blue spots, a little bit of white peeking through, so it's, yeah, these cheap monitors tend to have these kinds of issues and whatnot, but game mode on or game mode off? I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep making the adjustment if I try playing games on this thing. I do think what I should do, though, is make this the official Delosaurus station for any experimenting I want to do with this machine. So, you know, have a nice small monitor over here, play some games on to break from monolith for a bit, and do some more experimenting. Done! Not a bad setup, if I do say so myself. Unfortunately, in its old age, that Logitech mouse is having plastic issues, and the plastic is getting sticky. So we might have to clean that thing off and see, I think that's chemical reactions, though. I think that's going to keep happening with this old thing no matter what. Regardless, though, this is a pretty darn good setup. Doesn't have surround sound or anything, but for just playing some games, taking a break from Monolith, goofing with the Delosaurus, or whatever other computer I want to have here, I definitely say the project area is markedly better with this setup than with the old tube monitor. So, well, time to figure out when I can recycle the old tube monitor, because it had a good run, and this is the replacement. Although I might bring over one of my other mice to get rid of that sticky Logitech mess right there. Because this setup is getting too good to just have for tinkering with computers every so often. Ah well. Fun stuff! Till next time, this is MultimediaJay, signing off. Thanks for stopping by.